Hey everyone,
Hi,
I am Paul
everybody.
Bias. This is my wife Tahira, and we are Hope Bias Coaching coming to you as Ever After
After
Marriage.
marriage.
And we typically do videos, we've been doing videos for over a year now, but we're just starting to use the YouTube Go Live option. And we thought, what better time than now to do our first or second um, YouTube video. Actually, it might even be the third, but you all can't see the first two. Um, but we wanted to talk about goal setting and accomplishments because that's a big part of what makes marriages feel fulfilling and intimate and productive and successful.
Satisfying.
And just to give you a little bit about ourselves, because we haven't done that much, we have been certified coaches for a couple years now. We work with married couples and individuals. One of the programs that we are creating, and we've actually already launched it, we've had some beta testers test it, and we're making it available to the public, revolves around goal setting, right? But what we wanted to show you all today is what it looks like in marriage when you create goals and you do planning. And I'm not going to share the screen, but I'm just going to talk a little bit about how my wife and I. Um, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna
Go ahead.
share kind of how we got started. No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Okay, so happy almost New Year to everybody. So I was thinking about we were thinking about the year and what has happened in 2025, and we were thinking about moving forward in 2026. And so where we got started was we looked back over this last year and what have we accomplished. I think it's always better to kind of take a moment to celebrate and be excited about the things that have been wonderful. And even the things that might have been difficult, maybe what are the valuable lessons that have come out of those particular situations as well. So we took some time, we took about half an hour and listed the things that we felt were significant that were accomplished in 2025. And that was related to our business, that was related to ministry, it was related for
Education.
it was related to our marriage, just all sorts of different pieces. So that would be sort of step one, is to take a little time and look back and say, what do I feel really good about that's happened? You might also want to add, what are some things that could be improved? We didn't do that in this instance, but it's a possibility.
Yeah. And let me just say this.
Sure.
It's information. If you do a look back and you don't like what you see, it is instructional for how you move forward.
Exactly.
My guess is that the more you do it, the more thoughtful you'll become about the process, the more amazed that you'll be at what you actually did.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've probably got, I don't know, 36 things here that we accomplished.
We included groups that we've participated in. We included books that we've read,
books that we've started to write,
mm-hmm.
Coaching that we've done, ministry that we have participated in, retreats that we have facilitated. And this is all about our business and our ministry.
Mm-hmm.
But we could very easily do the same thing as it relates to our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, one of the things we're going to do as a part of this process is we're actually going to go through the process of giving ourselves our own marriage reboot. Now, it's not going to be the 2-day intensive reboot that we offer to couples,
Right.
but it will be a reboot that will allow us to plan forward. And we're going to do that tomorrow. And you all probably will not be a part of that. I'll just put that out there. But I just want you to know that the more thoughtful you are about where you've come from, the more prepared and the better positioned you'll be as you plan the direction in which you want to go.
And I want to say, for me, it was actually really refreshing to look back and go, wow, we did all of that. Thank you, God. Like, wow,
Yeah.
That's amazing. And it gave me sort of an impetus, because I felt like there was this momentum of what we've already done and what we're in the midst of doing, to be able to do step two. And step two was, you want to share what step two was?
Is that the third column?
Second column.
Oh, okay. So step 2, basically what we did is we just wrote some broad goals. Everybody's familiar with that. Go ahead, Ben.
Well, I was going to say, so what we did was we tag teamed what we've accomplished to next year's goals. So we specifically, so for example, we just finished a training. And so then we took that as an accomplishment for 2025. And then we said, okay, so what are we going to use that training for in 2026?
Yep.
And then we looked at, some projects that we've completed in 2025, or at least gotten started. So how are we going to move those forward in 2026? So that momentum list, that list of woohoo, yay, we got these things done, was actually a jump start for what can we do moving forward. And as we completed that part of the list, then there were other things we also decided to add that we had in the back of our minds kind of marinating.
Absolutely.
Where else to go?
Absolutely. So we started with our 2025 accomplishments. We wrote broad goals related to how we wanted to build on those accomplishments. And now we're going to give you a bird's eye view, maybe only 5 or 6 minutes, of how we take those broad goals and turn them into actionable, smarter goals, right? Everybody knows what SMART goals are. If you don't, really quick, SMART goals are specific, they're measurable, they're achievable or attainable, they are time-bound, and they are realistic. I said that out of order.
Yeah,
but that's what SMART goals are.
Yeah.
We make them smarter because we evaluate.
That's the E for
That's
smarter.
the E for smarter. And then we revise if necessary, right? And so for us, that is a complete goal-setting approach, framework, strategy, and it works really well. And so we've already started the process. We've talked about what we're going to do from a ministry standpoint in terms of small group facilitation. We've got our framework. We're already doing a small group through our church starting on January 13th. It's called Prayer That Prevails. If you're interested, send us a message. You can send it to info@hopebyus.com, info@hopebyus.com, and be happy to send you some information on that. So we've gone through that. We've gone through course creation. We're going to create courses that we're going to launch at different times during this year. Some have already been purchased by people. Some have already been tested, but we're going to release those very shortly. And we're going to talk about book publishing and book completion because we've got a couple books that are in different
stages of completion.
Exactly. And so we're going to give you a bird's eye view. Again, it's only going to be a few minutes.
So you can see in real time what this planning piece looks like.
Yep.
So in our accomplishments, what we wrote down was that I got a pretty good start on one of my poetry books, that we already had some beta testers read, and we received feedback about another book that we've done together.
Yeah. Beta testers and critique partners. They read the book. They gave us their feedback. Hundreds of comments. Good stuff. But now we need to figure out how to get that into our schedule for 2026 so we can be done with that phase and move on to the publishing phase.
So then we put it into 2026 that we were going to incorporate that feedback into the second draft of the book, and that I'm going to actually publish the poetry book that I've been formatting, creating, revising for at least a year.
All right. So we've got 2 books. We got 2 books in the process. January. So let's see. For me personally, I think January is going to be a good time because I've only got one class. I've got the internship going, and we've got the life group. Life group is 1 day a week. My internship is probably going to be about 15, 20 hours a week, but I will make time to start going through the comments on the manuscript for our book.
Okay.
So I'm going to put January down.
Okay.
So that's comment review. I'll put January.
I probably want to come in on the second stage of.
All right, so I'm going to say January through March.
Mhm.
And then for that, we're going to say T's input. And we'll say February to March.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that means he's going to get it started, and then I'll jump in after he's done like one
Pass.
pass at it. Yeah.
Okay. What do you need? Do you need anything from me on your book?
I think I would probably like for us to have a real clear session on publishing. So yes, once I have it, I need to get it to where I think it's ready. It's very close.
Okay.
And then we have a session on exactly how to get copywriting. That's what it was, not publishing, copywriting. So actually maybe it's both.
Okay. And we also need to see where we are with Greg and Julie on their publishing initiative. Session on copywriting. So I'm going to say check in on the Greg and Julie Okay, so you want me involved in the copywriting part. Is that after you finish all of the edits and everything on your book?
Doesn't have to be.
Okay, all right. What time frame you thinking? Just
Um,
like a March thing? Because I just feel like with, our book and the second pass that you're going to make on that, I don't know that that's going to be realistic to happen while we are talking about your book. And I mean, I think we need to kind of flesh out,
are we going to do
What
this
the-
one at a time, or are we gonna do
what the
this back and
copywriting
forth?
effort looks like. So are we talking, you want to just kind of tentatively say like March, April?
Yeah.
Okay, so, or do you want to say April, May?
March, April.
Okay. Okay, and so that'll give you basically January through March to do whatever you want to do
Yeah.
in terms of moving that forward.
Yeah.
Anything else on books?
No, and I think this is kind of a good place to kind of pause with the audience, because I'm not
Okay.
I'm not sure if you're able to follow along. I'm hoping you are, but we wanted to give you kind of an example to be able to say, okay, how do we start to set goals? How do we celebrate what we've accomplished? And then how do we get into kind of the nitty gritty of not only deciding what we want to do, but then starting to put it into the calendar so that it becomes an action item.
Yeah, and I'll just add this. So you didn't see a whole lot in terms of, what I would consider great moments for marriages and how the interaction goes. The one thing that I want to key you in on, and this just happened because this is how our relationship is. She's working on something that is specific to her. And I said to her, how can I help you? How can I support you into that? It's really important for us as married couples to understand our marriage is our ministry. It's our first ministry. And so if we are approaching it from the standpoint of what one spouse is doing is taking away, and therefore we resist or reject that, we're actually creating isolation. If there's something that one spouse wants to be involved in that the other spouse really doesn't have a place in, how can I support you in that?
Absolutely.
How can I help you move forward with that?
And I think that's where God comes into marriage so deeply, is that God is developing each of us individually as well as a couple. And so our responsibility as the partner is to support our spouse in being who it is that God's called them to be, not only in the world, but in the marriage. And so to do what you need to do to make that as easy as possible and as God honoring as possible. And so we don't see each other's goals as threats. We see it as, how do we make the team bigger? How do we make the team more skilled? How do we do this thing called life in a way that honors our strengths and honors who God's creating us both to be? And we have places where we thoroughly overlap, and then we absolutely have places where we're very distinct. And God's trying to grow all of that. And we just get to have the miracle of helping develop, being coachable, being willing to be developed, so that God can show up in an incredible way in the marriage.
Absolutely. And so we just wanted to give you that bird's eye view. You all will not be a part of the rest of this, but there's some exciting stuff. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about investing in our own marriage.
Yay.
And the 5 ways that we're going to talk about that deal with rejuvenation, resilience, spiritual growth, intimacy, and just our overall look at where we want to be
Development.
during come the end of 2026.
Yep.
So with that, y'all, we're going to sign off. We hope this was insightful, and we enjoyed giving it to you. You're going to see a lot more from us in 2026 in a lot of different ways.
We know it's been a minute. We've been busy, and we very much look forward to just seeing you more often.
Absolutely.
And,
with that, we're going to sign off the way we normally do, and we're going to say,
God bless your marriage.
See you again soon.